Hey, what's up? It's Maddie at mixandmastermysong.com. Today I'm going to show you 3 plugins that I use on just about every mix. The special thing about these plugins is they are actually free, which is really cool. There's so many different plugin manufacturers out there now who might just be trying to get a name or get their product name out there more, that they'll release a plugin for free, and it benefits us because we get to use them and check out what they have to offer. And a lot of them are just really, really special. So let's jump in and I'll show you 3 different ones that I use in a lot of my mixes. The first one is the Dmg Control. Now, it's more of a utility type plugin. Let me go through it. It's got MS to LR, and then you can swap the left and right, which is cool if you have a piano that's, was sent to you pan hard right, or pan with a lot more information on the right, and it's kind of getting in the middle of the mix over there. You want to switch it to the left, just hit swap LR. You can fix your phase on here. It comes with a high pass filter, which is just kind of a nice extra feature. You can change the slope on that. Balance, which is left to right, and then width, which is kind of cool and different, and as well as the left, right, and right pan, which you can switch back and forth, and a delay, as well as trim and gain. So check it out. So that switches your mid side to the left and right speaker, which is kind of cool. Then you can swap. And it's really cool sometimes just what swapping the sides can do to a mix. Phase, left and right if it's out of phase. High pass filter here. And then your balance, which, because this is stereo, it's going to be left and right. And so with Studio One, I don't use this much, but if I'm mixing in Pro Tools, where it's usually, you have 2 different pans, the left and the right, you can do this, use this balance here if you want to automate a pan or something like that. And instead of having to draw 2 different sides, you can just use the balance, which kind of makes it helpful. Width, which is really interesting. You can spread things out quite a bit. This is kind of cool to have, especially on a utility plugin. And then you can pull the pans in if you want. And then a delay if you wanted to delay it too. So this plugin's great when you just need to grab something, check a phase. If you want to swap your left and right, just need a high pass filter, want to fix the balance. It's got a lot of little kind of utility things all packed into one, which makes it super useful. And I end up pulling it up on, a handful of mixes. The next plugin that is cool is called the Orchard, or the Ochre, or I don't know how you want to pronounce it. Ochre. This is by Acoustica. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I love Acoustica plugins. This is a really cool EQ that they gave away for free. It's part of their homebrew, as they call it, which, Acoustica does a lot of modeling of other EQs and compressors, but this is their homebrew, which could be a little bit of a modeled with some things they changed. They do some really crazy things over there at Acoustica, and this is, one of them. So basically, you have a low frequency, mid frequency, and high frequency EQ. Here's your frequency ranges, your Q, and your gain and boost, gain and subtract. And then you also comes with the pre-in and input trim and output trim. The cool thing about the input trim is sometimes with these Acousticas, they are kind of modeled after some sort of analog. So pushing them to be, up around 0 VU is really helpful to kind of get the sound out of what that emulation does. So you can see I have this boosted pretty high. So this is for the piano. I just boosted a little bit here in the lows, subtracted a little in the mids, and then boosted again a little bit in the highs, so you can hear it with and without it. Sounds really good. So really cool. It really adds some nice, shine to the top, a little thickness in the low end, and then we got rid of a little bit of that nasally kind of sound that we didn't like in the middle. And this thing's great. It sounds really good on vocals. But I do tend to use it quite a bit on synths because it can add just a little bit of sparkle that you might need for something that, you know, is recorded completely in the box. So we'll turn those off. And then this is the last one. And this is the Multiply, which is a chorus plugin by Acon Digital. And this thing is super cool. I always find that, like, there's a limited amount of chorus plugins. And a lot of your host DAWs will come with them, but this is really cool. And this thing kind of goes the extra mile on what you can do with choruses. So you have a frequency modulation, your amplitude modulation, and then a voice count, stereo spread, and pre-delay. The pre-delay is really kind of cool, and I'll show you, you know, how we could make another kind of effect with that once we start playing around with this. But this, I just have it on the Rhodes chorus kind of sound, and I'll play it with and without. So really cool, sounds great. And then it's got an EQ, so say you didn't want it to affect your low end, you can cut it out so it's not really in the way there. So a cool kind of way you can change the chorus sound with just EQ, which is cool. Now the pre-delay is another thing I've used a couple times with this chorus plugin. And if you bring up your trusty Music Math, we got tempo 116. You can put the 16th notes, which is 129, right around there. So really cool effect. It can actually add a little bit of width and dimension to strings, or, you know, the piano in this instance. It kind of, you know, give a little more energy without making it stand out too much in the mix. So really cool. I really like that pre-delay setting on there. So hopefully this was helpful. You can, you know, use some of these in your mixes, and they're completely free. It's pretty awesome. If you got any questions or suggestions, or want to post some of your favorite plugins, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks.